Hey folks, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we are jumping back into our game with Ermor. It's turn 78, and we are getting our blood money from Ashdod, our 10 death gems from Well of Misery, so that feels okay. Gnome lore going up. Let's see if that's successful here. Not finding anything as per usual. I think then we're actually site searching some of. No, actually, this is our. Well, no, this is Nazca's territory, so it's possible it's already been site searched. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got going on over here. I think this is a magic phase attack. Oh no, no, it's not. It is definitely not. We are just raiding these monkeys. Last episode. Well, let's talk about it. Last episode, we had a major diplomatic breakthrough with Rlyeh. And that diplomatic breakthrough was he basically agreed to evacuate a portion of land. And that is because he was rather convinced he was not going to be able to hold this after we basically killed almost all of his shit. And he knew that if he lost another army, which, by the way, his armies aren't just like an army, you know, it's like 60 mages, too. He's going to be in deep, deep, deep shit. And that I would take everything, I'd take all his forts, and I might even be able to kill him underwater. Killing him underwater would be pretty hard, though. But I don't have to worry about some battlefield wipes and stuff underwater, which is nice. Anyway. But I also can't do mass flight and stuff underwater, which is not so good. Anyway. What he agreed to was that I was going to get all of this, and he would get a nap out of the deal. And I wouldn't press forward. And this apparently is a really good province. He really wanted to hold on to this one. So he gets to hold that too as part of the deal. Now, it may seem to you that this was an extremely good deal for me. And it kind of was, because I would take losses, but he would take losses too. But I don't think at this point there's any way he could hold this. So instead, I think he's going to go attack Ashdod now, which is also good for me. Could he have pushed a harder deal? He might have been able to, negotiate. I don't even know. I knew how good this province was. I don't think I would have given this to him. Because I would just take it. Really, it's a way for him to save his armies. And for, him to fall on the sword and be like, okay, well, I'll lose my army, but I'm going to take a bunch of your stuff with me. I don't think that would have really worked very well for him. Even if he kind of killed my first army, I would just bring another army in and take it. And gateway in more lictors. And he would kill the first one, probably at such a huge cost. The thing that would, I think, for him, might make it where, he might feel comfortable fighting me is once he has Undead Mastery. I think once he has that, and that's, the big thing I'm cautious about. And I don't know if he knows it, and I certainly haven't said it. But when Undead Mastery comes out, that's where I'm like, high pin Undead Mastery is very, very scary for Ermor. It bypasses my Blood Vengeance. My vanilla kind of Ermor troops have really shitty magic resistance, especially in Magic Dominion, which is his territory. That -1 hurts. In my Dominion, it's not as bad, right? Some of them actually have better MR. These guys, and this actually could be important. It could be later that these guys, the non-Ermorian Long Dead, are too much of a liability just because of their MR. Because I could just auto route from somebody doing Undead Mastery enough. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of great counters to Undead Mastery other than just gym baiting him and not grouping up too much. It's not that expensive, unfortunately, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't think he's that close to it. He might have been close to it if he wasn't fighting me too, because he's deployed a shit ton of mages to fighting me. I mean, so many, right? It's 3 armies of 60. So that is a lot of mages that could otherwise be researching and might have gotten him Undead Mastery by now. And it's also possible he has it, but hasn't used it, which I would find odd, because this player's played a fair amount of Rlyeh, and I do not expect that is the case. So anyway, I think anyway, how things were, I was going to have all this stuff within like 3 turns anyway, but it is certainly nice to get it for free. Unfortunately, it's not completely for free. He's pillaging this, and I thought it was just one of his tarts who was, you know, doing insane things off script, but as we'll find out next turn, it was not. He was actually pillaging this with an entire army. So I suppose that's squid hatred back at me. And I was kind of like annoyed by it because like you make a deal to give something up, it's kind of rude to pillage, but he could do it anyway if we were at war. I haven't pillaged any of his shit, honestly, but I certainly will. Anyway. I certainly will. I mean, I would have. I was, like, totally going to pillage all this underwater shit. Anyway. So we're doing all this, and I think I've also sent my message to Yes to end the nap. I think I've already done it, but if not, I did it. I'm going to do it this turn or something. Anyway, we're ending our nap with Yes, and we're going to go on the offensive. Yes has Gifts of Nature's Bounty, and so they are basically like a free spawn nation now. They're fighting right now Nabah primarily on kind of both fronts, right up here and then down here. And from Nabah's perspective, it is a war where they stand to gain certainly this throne, and I think this throne too might also be Yes's. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I think this one is. So it is a war where they stand to gain some thrones, and so that makes sense. Also, well, when they started the war against Yes, it looked better because Gifts of Nature's Bounty wasn't up, and we had just killed a shit ton of Morvarks over here in Ermor, and he's killed a lot of Morvarks himself. But I think with Gifts of Nature's Bounty being up, it's becoming a much harder war for Nabah. So anyway, we're going to continue to execute our mission. And that's basically that. We're going to kind of speed through some of these turns. I think the other thing I kind of want to figure out, where's taxes? Vobis taxes. I forgot where I put taxes. Is taxes over here? Taxes. Okay, yeah. Taxes. We have brought taxes back. So taxes died. We killed her. Then we brought... Apparently she kept the Flesh Eater tag, which in my tests she didn't, so I don't exactly know how that happened, but anyway. Whatever. She kept the Flesh Eater tag. We're going to get her back in a white form. I actually am not going to notice this. That's one of the reasons I was like, where's taxes? Because I knew we were getting taxes and new body, but I didn't realize that normally when your god dies, you lose the Flesh Eater tag. Or at least that's how I recall it being in my tests. But anyway, we've kept it. So anyway, let's go to the next turn, and we'll kind of start spending more time on turns once things spice up with Yes. So here we go. 79. Nomalor, Voice of Apsu. Voice of Apsu, we found a rock slide spring. Very nice. We have not site searched our... We've criminally under site searched our land for water. Our god dies, and Taxes is back as a white mage, and actually loses a lot of the afflictions. Unfortunately, we're going to get a lot back, because I don't notice that we still have Flesh Eater. And the way Flesh Eater works, a lot of people don't know, but yeah. If you are in a province with no population, you'll start getting permanent afflictions. So you can't just do Flesh Eater and then chill out in like a wasteland or something. You actually have to find people to feed them. Which is kind of cool, but not cool when I'm sitting here racking up afflictions because I'm an idiot. We found a Rune of Earth, which not very good. And then, so here we're just attacking into Rlyeh, bringing our big Doom stacks, and we kill everything because he's not defending. And yeah, that's basically that. Any cool events? We got a Sage, a Skull Mentor, and some population. Okay. And we got, yeah, Taxes back. So anyway, Salt, Death, and Taxes are back in action. We're making a lifelong protection. What I should be doing is running Taxes' ass up to some place that has population in it. Either Scalaria, but not for long, or up here. I've gone ahead and moved to all of my stone idols, which I have quite a few of, to try to block my Dominion from getting in here to Jotunheim. And this is when I see that Rlyeh was very, very busy pillaging. He's gotten the population down to 20k and unrest to 392. I kind of wanted, I don't know. The thing that was a little weird about it was he was like, hey, can you give me a turn before you take Jotunheim? Where it's like, I could have taken Jotunheim earlier, you know? But I was just like, sure. I thought he had to get a Tartarian out or something that was crazy. But no, he was pillaging the shit out of it. Anyway. Little bitter about that, but not that bitter. Anyway, we're going to be continuing attack. We've popped all these forts. This province has Mount Chaining, which would be really good, but of course, and we are a blood nation, but we're not a great blood nation. And I'm not going to research blood magic. We're doing blood construction for all our blood stuff and blood feast. So I'm not really so ambitious to think I'm going to get like vampires or something in this game. My research is also too shitty to like have frolicking endeavors down blood. So anyway, we're coming over here. This is the last province we get to take, which we definitely want. It's got pretty dang nice sites. And so we're going to be storming here. And we already stormed here. I probably should put a temple in here at some point, but I don't really... I want to be a little... First of all, I'm still poor. Right? I've just barely gotten where my income's more than my upkeep again. And we also need to get in position to attack Rlyeh. I mean, to attack Yes. Okay, yeah, so we send the message this turn. Yeah, I think with Gift of Nature's Bounty up, we need to end our nap with you. We had a nap too, sending this on turn 79. You receive it on turn 80. Attack orders can be sent on 81. Received on turn 82. Good luck. So anyway, we're starting to get in position. We'll take this without him being able to mess with us. And then I think we have... So this is turn... He'll get this on 80. And the turn he gets it, I'll have also taken this. Then we have one turn to chill out, and then we're going to attack. And we're basically going to be getting stuff in position over here. The other thing I've got, which I've been working on, or will be working on, is we're going to be summoning liches here. And with these liches, we will be doing bone grinding with our great bone grinding plan. We already have all the gear for the liches, which you can see we're stacking up right here. And this is good bone grinding gear. The thing that you can kind of switch out is you can switch out the... And by the way, I don't know if there's a standard lich kit for bone grinding, but this is what I have invented. I haven't taken this from anybody. I haven't seen anybody use it in a game before. But this is what seems to work best. The thing you can switch out is the rabbit foot charm for an anti-magic amulet if you're worried about like astral shit or death shit, you know, like Undead Mastery coming out, which I'm definitely worried about. So anyway, we'll be swapping those sorts of things around. Because liches, we'll look at them when we have them. But we also researched Conjuration. So we're at Conjuration 8 now. And you can say, what does Conjuration 8 give us? Well, let's take a look. We get Fairy Queens, and that's probably the most important thing we get. Because this means we're going to have more ubiquitous air access. Unfortunately, it costs a boatload of nature gems, which I'm also saving for Gift of Health. I've been saving literally all game for Gift of Health. And I keep getting like a little distracted. I could put it up now. It would probably override almost any enchantment it hits. But there's also a decent chance it gets dispelled. I'm still, and I could be paranoid, so probably Sakne will write a comment in this video saying how justified my paranoia is. But I've been pretty paranoid all game that if I put any global up, people will pull to overcast it or take it down. And I feel that way for Gift of Health. So if I do it, ideally I do it second, not first. And I put like 600 gems in it. The other thing we get is we get access to the Elemental Royalty, which of course we're too late for. We potentially... I'm pretty sure Ashdod has the King of Banefires, though we might be able to sneak it. We could do Eater of the Dead. These things are kind of hilarious, but I don't think versus the nations I'm fighting it's going to matter that much. It's more like a fun, gimmicky thing for single player, I think. We could do Earth Attack, which would be kind of nice. And this is something we could do. Like, we have the Staff of Elemental Mastery, and we have Earth Boots, so we can do it some, but not a ton. We're pretty limited in how much we can do it. What does this do? I don't even know if I've seen it. Oh, Sea Monsters. Yeah, it sucks. Queen of Water. Yeah. So I think that's basically kind of... We could do the kindly ones to fuck with the Blood Nations, but we're a Blood Nation too. We don't want to kill our own bats. This is the big one, guys. Fairy Court. Now, I really wanted to run down here and get Tartarian Gate, but I think I've decided. And I'm like 8 turns ahead of this in the game, but I've decided I have to go Alt 9. The reasons for Alt 9 are a fewfold. One is... combined with Fatigue Place, Army of Gold, Army of Lead, whatever, is probably going to be one of the most most important spells I can get. Yeah, it's just going to make it where it's really hard to kill my guys quickly in combat. There's some problems with basically with that approach. Like, I'm still vulnerable to Undead Mastery, which is the thing I'm currently... Like, it's not going to scratch the itch of, like, the thing I'm currently really worried about it's going to help me with. So that's not great. But what it does also give me is it gives me Utterdark. And that's what I was saying for the past, like, 10 turns. So starting about here, I'm getting more and more convinced I'm going to put Utterdark up. And... to cast Utterdark, you need to be Death 9. So let's actually see how we cast it. We got Taxes back, who I think would maybe be my... No, she's Death 5. I think... I know somewhere around here I've got... My god. Where are you, milady? Okay, I know you're literally here somewhere. Did I move you up here? Okay, here you are. Death. Oh, Death is also 4. I don't know if I have anybody who's naturally 5. Four. Just scanning through this real quick. 5, but you've got a staff. I don't think I have any natural 5s, guys. So let's run through the math of how many I'm going to need. Or how many boosters we're going to need. So to do Utterdark, I'm going to need... So if we're 4, I get 1 from this, I get 1 from a hat, and I get 1 from the Ring of Wizardry. So that will put me at 7. Do I need to be 9 to do it? I'm glad we're actually coming back and recording. It lets me kind of prepare. 9. How to get 9? I mean, I could empower... How much does it cost to empower, like, a Death 4 guy? 75 gems? I think to get the casting off, too. Because it's gonna... I'm gonna want to cast it with, like... I don't know. 800 or 900... I would say 700 is a minimum, but probably more like 8. And then maybe just 9, because if I can keep it up, I win. The only one who could maybe compete with me if I keep it up is Sakanay, because he's got a pretty good blood economy, and maybe Nabah, because they have a good blood economy. But, I mean, in reality, they would lose. Yeah. I mean, the other thing I could do, and in some ways it's safer, is wishing for Armageddon. The problem doing that, though, is it's not going to help with Yes much. I mean, it'll cut back on... Utterdark will essentially eliminate Gifts of Nature's Bounty. Which, the thing is, if I go to war with Yes and I take all this stuff, I'm not sure. I might be able to conquer them underwater, but I don't really want to. I'm not going to, like, win any prizes for that. So I'm going to have them constantly fucking with me from underwater. They're not going to forgive me for taking all their shit, especially if I get their thrones. So, anyway. I'm thinking we're going to do Utterdark. But I need... Right now I've only got boosters to get me up to 7. I could do the Ring of Sorcery, which would get me up to 8. And then the 9th is a bit tricky. The 9th is quite tricky. I think the 9th has to be an Empower. Yeah. I think the 9th has to be an Empower. I mean, it's... Yeah, I think that's basically just what has to happen. So anyway, we're moving into position. We're taking the rest of the stuff. Let's go ahead and go to the next turn. I think we're probably summoning like a Fairy Queen too. We'll see what the next turn brings. I think we're on turn 80 now. We got some Death Gems. We cast Auspex. Now, one thing too I want to address, because somebody's going to put it in the comments, or I already did it last episode, is that... that is a very nice find, by the way. Is that... Rlyeh is kind of handing me the game by giving that up. And I just want to emphasize, he couldn't have held it, I don't think, unless he had Undead Mastery. He was not going to be able to hold it. So he was really just saving his army. And the fact that people weren't helping him fight me, if anything, was what was kind of giving me the game. But Rlyeh was really... They were arguably in position 1 when our war started. I think they probably were in position 1 when our war started. But they only went down in rank as they have lost ground, but more importantly as they have lost armies. Their military power... I don't have the graphs, but their military power, like let's say they were right here, it would have dropped to like right here probably. It dropped by at least half during our war. And their gem reserves went way down. Their power dropped significantly during our war. And so that's why I think they weren't in... now they're not really in like position 1 or 2. Now they're in like position 3 or 4. Probably position 4, actually. I think Yis might be in position... I think I'm in position 1 after winning the war with Rlyeh. I think Ashdod is probably in position 2 because he's got all the Gem Gen globals and a blood economy. I think Yis is probably in position 3 because he's got twice the income of any other player with Gifts of Nature's Bounty. I think Nabah is probably actually in position 4 now. I think they're even ahead of Rlyeh. And that's because they have a pretty good blood economy with all the new Nabah kind of blood sacreds. And yeah, I think they're doing okay right now presently in the war with Yis too. But they're definitely a lower position than Yis, I think. And then I think Rlyeh actually is position 5. I think they've gone all the way from position 1 to position 5 through the course of the war with me. So anyway, that is the cost. And I don't think it was predetermined. You know, like if he had Staff of Storms and he had Undead Mastery, he would have won his war with me. And he would have slowly ground into me and probably taken my thrones. I think I would have had to have fought him, though. This is why I think it was probably still not a great move. He should have taken my thrones last. Especially if he didn't have Undead Mastery. Because I was going to fight him for these thrones until I got them. Like, there's no way I would ever stop. I would never make peace, I don't think. Unless somebody else was literally about to win. And even then, I probably wouldn't make peace. I'd probably just use other resources to fight them. So, I think it was a bad move strategically for that reason. But he certainly could have won the war with me. Even though I think he did, like, he played Rlyeh pretty well. Like, he did the things Rlyeh is supposed to do. He had good formations. He had good scripting. He did so many things well, but it just wasn't good enough, right? And it just the way things played out, I won it. So anyway, that's my summary of that part. And we'll probably come back and summarize. I'll say all this again in the after action review. So we've taken the final forts. We've taken this fort. There's a Star Child in here. We've taken this province, which is an excellent province. We've taken this province, and I've got Death over here. I teleported Death on top of this, and we are gatewaying Death to 134. And 134 is this province right here. So I'm showing up with, in Magic Phase, with like 260 Sacreds. Oh, yes. We're also getting some Earth Gear for this Troll King to roll out with. We're making a Crucible of Stone, which is the... it's this thing, which gives you 4 temporary Earth Gems. So anyway, we're making that. And then he'll be able to roll out. I mean, ideally, because I'm a little worried about things like Wrathful Skies coming up, so we're going to be dropping Ground Army. But later, we'll be able to do like Army of Gold and stuff too. If Yiss is going to be doing Wrathful Skies, I probably won't do Army of Gold. I'll probably just stick with... well, I'm not sure. It depends. If I have enough Sacreds, I'm not that worried about Battlefield wipes. So if I have enough Sacreds, I might still do Army of Gold and then do... and just let my Lictors take some damage and reflect it all back and zap the shit out of somebody, and just do Ground Army on top of that, and just accept I'm going to lose a lot of my skeletons and stuff from it before they get taken down. But anyway, we'll do what we can. I'm not expecting this to be an easy war. I mean, he's got probably like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 disposable gold a turn, which is a lot. And some of the reports I've gotten from Nabah, talking to them, is that he's been doing massive PD dumps, like 100 PD, and he'll do it casually and just have his mages and troops sit behind it, which will make it very difficult for me to like effectively raid him. And you can see he's just building up enormous quantities of chaff. He's also been forting all these things up. There's a fort under construction here, which I'll probably let him finish so that I can hopefully take it from him. But it might come up this turn too. I can't remember. Anyway, attack orders can be issued on 81, received on 82, I believe. So we've got one more turn to chill. I think I've also got Fairy Queens I've made, maybe. Yeah, here's a Fairy Queen. She's making some rainbow armor for herself. We're going to be making another Fairy Queen, maybe? Or maybe I'm doing something else this turn, I'm not sure. Taxes I've got moving, but not in the right direction, because I don't even realize now he's gotten another affliction. So anyway, we're going to have to... I actually need to go send him really, really badly, and I do this later, but not in time, to go cast Blood Feast again. Oh well. Okay, let's go forward. Let's go to turn 81. And this will be the order we send in our attacks. Or the turn we send our attack orders in. Okay. So here's turn 81. And we get some death gems, we get some nature gems. Let's talk here a little bit about what we're casting. We're doing Lichcraft. And this is going to, I think, give me my third Lich. So our Lich task force is ready to go, which is great. We've also got a battle here we can watch between Yiss and Nabah. So this is Nabah's force, which is pretty fearsome. Nabah has great... great. They're a little expensive, but, I mean, they're pretty phenomenal mages. I mean, I don't know. I love Astral 1 mages. So, anyway, he's got not horrendously overpriced Astral 1s, and then at this time in the game, it's honestly worth paying a little bit extra for them just to not have them so vulnerable to strategic nukes. No, he didn't. He did Phoenix Pyre on his communion slaves. Holy shitballs. And he doesn't have fire resistance. What is this madness? What is this madness? He's got some Malikas too. He's got these guys. I really do like the Nabah mages. Nabah's a cool nation. They need chaff. Not exactly sure what to do for that. It's possible they can do it through blood. I might have to give them another play. I learned a lot by not playing them correctly the first time. Anyway, this is the Nabah force. In total, it's about 40 mages. 45. And then a lot of Yen Guard. So anyway, high commitment army. They're rolling out. We catch a bunch of scouts. Interesting. I've been patrolling. These are basically everybody watching me take Rlyeh. And then after they've seen me take the Rlyeh stuff, I've killed them all. And so, yeah. Jotunheim has been conquered. And we have taken its stuff. We're still busy patrolling down the Unrest. We're desperately trying to get this Unrest down so I can start getting income. I'm only getting 45 gold from this. It's kind of got me pissed off. And I'm patrolling it down way slower than I thought I would. I don't know if I'm getting bad RNG or if I'm just patrolling poorly because it's high Unrest, which I think is a thing. Anyway, it's not going down fast enough. It was at 340 or something the turn before, but anyway. I need it to come down faster. So now we're doing our attack orders. And I don't see a ton of Yissian stuff that's going to defend. Which, to be fair, I'm not even expecting many Glamored things, because most of the Morvarks have been killed. So I'm not really very worried about Morvarks. I'm more worried about the normal troops and just a shit ton of Astral Earth mages and huge amounts of PD. So we're sending in a huge army here. We've got about 80, 160, 200, 420, probably like 450 sacreds total between the knights and the other stuff. So that's a lot of sacreds. So good luck putting up a battlefield wipe with that many sacreds up. Yep. The other buffs we're coming in with, let's go through some of those. We're doing Grip of Winter Rigor Mortis. We're doing Power of the Sepulchre, right? So this is the Holy 4 version. Unholy Blessing. We are doing Phoenix Power Firefend, right? In case he does Firestorm. And then we're doing Strength of Giants just to get this. He's positioned right in the middle of all the lictors. One thing I'm doing now, which I kind of made a mistake of earlier, is trying to get cold resistance on all my dudes that are going to be standing in lictors so they don't freeze to death turn 1. And then probably most importantly, we're going to be doing Mass Flight and then Fog Warriors. That's going to make a huge difference. We're also doing Elemental Fortitude. Again, this is to avoid freezing round 1, and then Mass Regen. And that will also be really, really good on the lictors. But the Mass Regen only works on lictors. It doesn't work on anything else in my army. So anyway, these boys are coming in. We're going to be sending in very light raiders here. This is, I think, what he's going to defend the hardest. And so I want to be cautious about overcommitting here. But I have a lot of sacreds built up here. Like almost another 250 or something. So we will be trying to take it. But we're going to try to finesse it and kill a bunch of stuff with the liches. We're going to just be doing light raiding here. We're building up forces here, and this is going to be the location of our second Doom stack. We're going to be coming in at this, which appears to be very weakly defended, and we're just sending a big friggin' army here. We've got Mass Flight Fog Warriors. We've got Power of the Sepulchre again, and then Unholy Blessing, and... Do I not have an Air Mage? Oh, no, I do. Mass Flight Fog Warriors, I already said that. But I don't have a Nature Mage doing Mass Regen. That's okay. Anyway, big stack coming here. And that's basically it for this turn. So I think we'll call it there for this episode. Thank you all for watching. There's a ton of micro going on in the background. I mean, it doesn't even look like it this turn, but there's a lot of micro going on, things getting produced, cast, etc. I'm kind of skimming through all that to get us caught up to where I am, but we will see you in the next episode. Take care.